We got new details from inside the jury room in the Diddy Combs case. Jurors telling the judge they hit a snag just 1 hour into deliberations. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky is there at the courthouse for us with more. Good morning, Aaron.
And good morning to you, Robin. The jury is going to return here a short time from now to resume deliberations after what seemed like a rough start. This morning, the first full day of deliberations in the trial of Sean Combs, who prayed with his twin daughters, sons, and mother in the courtroom while the jury of 8 men and 4 women ages 30 to 74 went to decide whether he's guilty of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Jurors must fill out this form and deliver it to the judge once there's a verdict. Almost immediately, though, deliberations were interrupted. After about an hour, jurors sent a note that said they're concerned one of them cannot follow Your Honor's instructions. That juror is a 51-year-old Manhattan scientist with a doctorate in molecular biology. The note did not say what led the other jurors to have concerns, and the judge sent back his own note that reminded jurors they have a duty to deliberate and an obligation to follow my instructions on the law. Later, the jury sent another note asking the judge about the drug allegations that support the racketeering conspiracy charge. When Combs read the note, he looked stricken. The verdict form says jurors should consider the drug offenses if and only if they decide Combs is guilty of racketeering conspiracy. The jury saw multiple photos of drugs seized from Combs. Several assistants testified they bought drugs for him. The defense said the drugs were only for Combs's personal use. There's no way to know where deliberations stand. There have been about 5.5 hours so far, and each day, Robin, the judge said he would let the jury decide how late to stay. Robin.
All right, Aaron, our thanks to you. We're going to bring in ABC News live contributor Shauna Lloyd. So what do you make of this issue with the juror?
So the issue with the juror, we have to remember, is this. The question was very specific, that he's not following the judge's instructions. The judge only asked them to do a certain amount of things. Presumption of innocence. You can't hold the fact that he didn't testify against him. You can't bring outside sources. And you can't make decisions based on race, religion. So there is something about one of those few things that the judge is asking that this juror was not complying with. So we know that the judge did send him back, and it seems as though he's now deliberating with the other jurors.
Does it raise, though, a question about possible appeals?
Absolutely, because let's remember, the judge has a very heavy balancing act. The judge has to make sure that he attempts to not influence the deliberation, but ensure that the juror is following instructions. Then, if he finds that he's not, he's going to have to remove him and put in an alternate juror.
So at this point, what happens and what does it mean for the jury if the judge decides to dismiss a juror?
If the judge decides to dismiss the juror, it means that the alternate will be brought back in. We have to remember they did see the entire trial, so they are up to speed. But what it means is deliberations almost reset because this juror has to be brought into all the discussions that the group has been having for this last day and a half or half a day.
So it could delay things.
It could delay things.
And it's already been such a long trial.
Exactly.
Oh.
All right, Shauna Lloyd, the twists and turns never end. Thank you so much for being here.
A pleasure.